Good afternoon, and welcome to BlackUSA.News. We have with us Brother Louis Ali from the South. Top of the day to you.
Peace and blessings, Brother Donnie. Thank you so much for having us on this afternoon. I've been excited for weeks now.
Now, Brother Louis, where are you from?
Well, I'm originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, but my grandfather was a civil rights activist by the name of Lewis Allen, and he was murdered in 1964 in a little town called Liberty, Mississippi. And so the family migrated to Wisconsin, and I was the first boy born in our family after his murder. So my name is Lewis Allen. Uh, but we wind up moving back down south when I was about 9 years old, and I just loved the South. And of course, I joined the nation, so I became Louis Ali from the South.
So, one of my mentors, I should say, is Brother Richard Muhammad, the editor-in-chief of Final Call.
The great Brother Richard.
Let me first say salamu alaikum to you and to the family. It's always a pleasure. Brother Richard, who's from Baltimore, has been just a blessing to me throughout my life, at least my career as a journalist. And to go from Baltimore, I think at one point he wrote for the Baltimore Sun, and to Chicago, the home of media besides New York.
That's
and
right.
To still know him. A few years back, he got me a gig out at the National Newspaper Publishers Association convention. This was in Portland. I got a chance to meet Willie Brown and a lot of the black newspaper publishers, Ben Chavis Muhammad, who is in charge of the NNPA.
Sure is.
National Newspaper Publishers Association. Yeah. Just trying to think so many, but meeting Willie Brown was just an awesome. But before we get too far, let me also say, when I go and Google Black Wall Street, Stonecrest, I find you.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. And it's because of people like you and Brother Richard that are giants, because it really doesn't matter what we do in Black America if you don't have courageous Black media to amplify and highlight what you do. Nobody will know about it. And so I take this very serious, activism, because I've been an activist now for 30 years, and my grandfather was an activist. But the good work that a lot of Black men in particular, but Black people in general do, is not recorded and highlighted, because you don't have people like you and the Final Call and other Black publications that have enough courage to write about it, to talk about it, so that you can make the idea or the thought contagious. And see, good ideas spread just as good as the coronavirus. Everybody's talking about corona and how it can spread. But good ideas and good news, and especially the victories, Brother Donnie, they can spread also. Too often we highlight the lowest points in our community. And the higher points we don't highlight unless the white media, the old guard media, sanctions it. So, man, I love what you do. I have so much respect for Black media, but for you in particular, because you got some Black media outlets to just parrot the old narrative. But what you're doing is really revolutionary. And I think that when the story is really told, and it's going to be told, that Brother Donnie, your name, and Brother Richard, and the minister, and so many truth tellers will be at the top of our mountain.
But you are no rookie. I mean, you have been able to build the Brother Louis Ali media empire as well now.
Well, I'm the president of the Hot Black Coffee Party think tank, and also the Resurrect Black Wall Street movement. And what I see in my vision and thought of integration is to bring the political activists, the economic activists, and the social activists all together as one force. And that's really what you have in the new Black Wall Street market. It's not a religious movement. It's a movement that's designed to touch and bring all of those elements together so that we can have some Black empowerment. To get into our topic a little bit today, Brother Donnie, you can't have Black empowerment without having a political arm, a economic arm, and a social arm that's under the banner of a spiritual arm, not a religious arm. There is a difference. And so when you go to, and this is what I really got out of the Million Man March. The Million Man March wasn't a Muslim march. The theme was atonement, recognition, and responsibility. And the minister didn't put all of the heat on the government. He put the heat on us as men to be the first ones to go back and reclaim our own identity, our own community, our own women, our own children, and to pick up the mantle of responsibility, which has nothing to do with your religious persuasion, you see. And I love the minister for his vision and what he done for all of us, not just the so-called little quote unquote nation of Islam, but for the totality of Black American, really for humanity when we grow up and understand what he's really trying to do. It is the same for Mr. Bill Allen and the new Black Wall Street market. It's supposed to be like Mecca, something that we can circumvent around and draw power. And we got a saying down south, you can't be a bee without a beehive. And so all the busy businesses and bees.
I might have to write that down. I'm gonna steal that from you off the break. I'm letting you know. I took all good
coming under the roof, picking up on each other's traffic count. See, if you have over 100 Black businesses in one area, one destination, one location, then all of the busy bees are bringing in nectar or people so that we can have a healing for our community. We had Black business districts 50 years ago. And according to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, at that time, the fastest growing economy, not just in America, Brother Donnie, in the world was the Black American economy. White children were coming down to the Black business district. We had what was called the old Chitlin circuit, but quiet as it's kept, we own the buildings, we control the entertainment. We had the Negro Baseball League. Historically, Black colleges were at an all-time high, and there were business districts around all of the historically Black colleges. They met in Berkeley and at Stanford and concocted the idea of a social engineering idea of what we classify today as integration. It had nothing to do with really integrating Black people, but it was to get our resources, our money, our talented people, and bring our talented people, our Black entertainers, our Black thinkers and intellectuals over to the white side of town so that they could reaffirm white children and white people and stop their business districts and their economy from dying. And it has worked for the past 50 years because, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, he said integration was a hypocritical trick. About 5 years ago, myself, Dr. Ava Muhammad, Dr. Ridgely Muhammad, and they were under the authority of Minister Farrakhan, and other social activists like the Irritated Genie, Dr. Wesley, Umar Johnson, just social activists in general. We started traveling around the country, raising the question, how has integration affected Black businesses? Did it get us more business or less business? And that's how the social engineering component of our movement took off. Then we raised the question, should Blacks consider separation? And Minister Farrakhan instructed Ava Muhammad to say Blacks must consider separation. And then Corona hit, but we were traveling city to city. And now here we are with the Resurrect Black Wall Street movement. I've been to Birmingham, Alabama. I've been to Jackson, Mississippi. I've gone to Lafayette, Louisiana, and different parts of the country to talk about rebuilding the Black business district with we start out around these historically Black colleges so that we can give our young people something to do, something to look forward to. And then lo and behold, 100 years after the burning of Black Wall Street, Stonecrest, Georgia, 125,000 square feet, old Target building, completely refurbished. And now we have our first new Black Wall Street market. But I promise you, Brother Donnie, it won't be the last, and Black people are on the rise. And I'm just so grateful that you highlighted it so people can know what's going on in Black America that's good.
You know, 10 years ago,